The restaurant was filled with soft music, warm lights, and quiet conversations, but at one small table by the window, a young woman sat alone. Her name was Emily, and she had spent nearly an hour nervously checking the door, hoping that the men she was supposed to meet would finally arrive. It was her first blind date in years, arranged by a friend who insisted that the man was perfect for her. Emily had even worn her favorite light blue dress and spent extra time preparing, trying to believe that maybe, just maybe, this evening could be the start of something new. Just as the waiter placed a plate of pasta in front of her, her phone buzzed softly in her hand. She glanced at the screen, expecting a message saying, "I'm almost there." Instead, the words made her heart sink. "Hey, sorry. I saw your picture. I don't think this will work. I'm canceling the date." For a moment, the world around her seemed to go silent. Emily stared at the message, reading it again and again, hoping she had misunderstood. But the cruel words remained the same. Her chest tightened, and tears quietly slipped down her cheeks. She quickly lowered her head, trying not to draw attention. She had already struggled with confidence for years, and that message felt like someone had just confirmed every fear she had ever had about herself. What hurt most wasn't just the rejection, it was the coldness of it. Canceling without even meeting her. Judging her from a single photo. Emily wiped her tears, but more kept falling. At the next table sat a man in a perfectly tailored dark suit. His name was Daniel Carter, though most people in the business world knew him as the CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech companies in the country. Daniel wasn't the type of man who usually paid attention to strangers in restaurants. His life was meetings, numbers, and decisions worth millions. But tonight something caught his eye. At first, it was simply the quiet way the girl tried to hide her tears. Then he noticed the message still glowing on her phone screen as she stared at it helplessly. Daniel couldn't help but overhear when she whispered to herself, "I guess I wasn't good enough." Something about those words struck him harder than he expected. For a moment he sat there, debating whether he should mind his own business. But then he remembered something his late mother used to say, "If you see someone hurting and you can help, even a little, you should never walk away." So Daniel stood up, adjusted his suit jacket, and calmly walked over to her table. Emily was startled when she noticed a man standing beside her. She quickly wiped her face, embarrassed that someone had seen her crying. Daniel gave a gentle smile and said softly, "Excuse me. I couldn't help noticing you seem upset. I'm sorry if this sounds strange, but would you mind if I sat here for a moment?" Emily hesitated. She wasn't used to strangers approaching her, especially not someone who looked so confident and composed. But there was something sincere in his eyes, so she nodded quietly. Daniel pulled out the chair across from her and sat down. "I'm Daniel," he said warmly. Emily looked down shyly. "Emily." Daniel glanced at the untouched plate of pasta and then at her phone. "Let me guess," he said gently. "Someone canceled on you tonight." Emily's eyes widened in surprise before she nodded. Daniel leaned back slightly and said something she would never forget. "Well, if he canceled, that just means he made room for someone better to take his place." Emily blinked, confused. Daniel smiled and continued, "If you don't mind, maybe I could be your blind date tonight." Emily let out a small laugh through her tears. It had been such a terrible evening, yet somehow this stranger had already made it feel lighter. What she didn't know yet was that this unexpected dinner would completely change her life in ways she could never imagine. And sometimes, the best moments come not from the plans we make, but from the surprises life sends our way. If you enjoy emotional stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join us for more powerful stories that remind us how one small moment can change everything.